Well, there you have it, folks, the trailer for Men of War Assault Squad 2 Cold War, and it looks really good and exciting. I'm here to cover some more information that may have not been covered in the trailer, and then, of course, to just reiterate some things and do a trailer breakdown as well, as Men of War Assault Squad 2 is one of the main things on the channel that you guys are definitely looking forward to. First of all, let's cover the release date. This will be coming out sometime in September on Steam, so it's available for PC, essentially, and also, it will be coming out as a standalone expansion, so you do not need to own Men of War Assault Squad 2 in order to own Men of War Assault Squad 2 Cold War. And speaking of Men of War Assault Squad, this seems to also be taking some things from their newest title, which is free to play, known as Call to Arms. And it looks like there's a lot of great artwork and a lot of great, like building design and features that really makes it look like Call to Arms, but on the more popular Men of War Assault Squad 2 format. So that's really cool. For those of you who play Men of War Assault Squad 2, or if you play Call to Arms, you'll realize that there's a lot of great game modes in here already, such as the Assault Zones feature, or even Frontlines. It looks like this will be adding some new game modes, including a new dynamic campaign creation. Now that's interesting. It looks like we might be able to make our own campaigns, possibly, and then of course to play those in single player or co-op with a friend, which would be awesome. You'll be able to pick between the two sides, the United States of America and the Soviet Union, and the time frame here seems to be somewhere between the 50s and the 70s, and it's so broad because, we're not seeing any sort of Abrams or T-80s or anything like that in the trailer, so there'll be more questions and answers, of course, from the trailer on what time frame it'll be, what vehicles we can play with. But it does look like there's a lot of things from the 60s and 70s there, so we're looking into like the mid-Cold War where things are really starting to heat up, and that looks exciting, as well as possibly seeing more units from East or West Germany, maybe some European units, British units, for example, or some East Germany units for the Soviet Union, that type of thing. They might be able to call out those individual squads or something like that, so we won't be seeing like every single individual nation that was involved in the Cold War. That would probably be way too many, but it is good to see that there's a potential to bring in other units like that. And with that, there'll be some new game modes too. So there's Combined Arms game mode, which allows you to capture and hold flag points using all military means possible. So essentially like a zone will pop up and you'll need to be able to battle over it. Or Annihilation game mode, where you'll be able to dominate the enemy, capturing bases and valuable supplies in order to push them back. Kind of similar to Call to Arms mode. I think it's called Domination instead of Annihilation, where you have to go out and capture supply caches that pop up on the screen and then battle over those in order to push the enemy back. Whoever wins the most of those wins more supplies and can win the battle. But there, of course, there's the standard additional or standard game modes in addition to that, like for example the Assault Zones and the combat mode, where it's all about destroying a number of enemy units instead of just like capturing points and things like that. So that's good. I'm excited for that. I'm really getting hyped. I see Hueys here. I see some, other tanks and other things, and I'm just going through the press release to see some of those key features. So it was just announced today, so I'm very excited, and there's a lot more questions than there are answers, but I'm definitely going to cover those. So again, if you haven't already, make sure you click or tap that subscribe button too, and leave a like to let me know that you're excited for this. YouTube, by the way, will suppress these videos. RTSs and things of World War. If it has war in the title, it's going to be suppressed. Men of War Assault Squad 2 literally has the word assault, war, and war in it again. So just keep in mind that Susie doesn't want any of this stuff out. So it's like our own given secret. So do show its support for Digital Mindsoft as well, creators of that Call to Arms game. You can get that one for free too, by the way. So let's get into our trailer breakdown. That's about all the information I have at the moment. We'll go through all the vehicles that we see on the screen to the best of my knowledge, and you guys can comment down below on what some of these things are, in addition to the weaponry and vehicles too. Some of them are a little early Cold War, so we'll see what we got. Let's do our trailer breakdown. Here we go. Wow, first and foremost, this is a big one. Helicopters being added to Men of War Assault Squad. They're already in Call to Arms, but to do this in Men of War Assault Squad 2 really requires like a changing of the game's deep core mechanics. And in Men of War Assault Squad 2, really all you had was aircraft, planes that couldn't stop moving. They all had to be stationary, and so there were other mods for this before. Men of War Assault Squad 2 heavily modded with Cold War mods and things before it. So anybody who's scoffing at saying, oh, I'll just download the mods, no thank you. Well, this adds a lot of new game mechanics that legendary mod makers such as Microsoft Man and more, who've already made Cold War mods, can now make their mods for this game and make them even better, because now we have access to more assets, more mechanics, and of course higher def graphics and other things that we can use to really make everything powerful. On the left side we see Mi-8 helicopters. Below that seems to be a possible Huey helicopter, and on the right side some Chinooks as well. So we're finally seeing helicopters in a Men of War Assault Squad game and it looks like some pretty good ones too. I'm not sure what that one on the left side of the 2 Chinooks are, but you guys can let me know down below. This is big. This is big news. This is great. Alright, second thing of note here is definitely some good looking special effects. We've got some really nice craters that'll be formed in the game from big explosions where troops can actually take cover, and I believe that crater there is specifically from Call to Arms. So it's cool to see kind of things from the free-to-play game brought over to this one with the customization options too. Some really nice special effects of the smoke and things are what you'll see in actual battles. I believe that vehicle on the left side there is a M109. I don't think it's a Paladin, but I think it's the earlier M109 version of that, which looks good. Another destroyed tank on the right side. Brownie points for anybody who can identify those. And ruined cities and debris is a big factor and a big thing of Man of War Assault Squad, where you need to take cover, maneuver between it, and this is going to be no different. So that's good to see that. Some really good improvements to the explosions, I'm assuming, from what I've seen in gunfire and stuff. We'll cover that later. It's looking really good. Quick glimpse of a Sherman tank there. It looks to be maybe a basic M4. That's interesting to see. The Cold War could possibly be taking place right from 1945. There might even be elements to perhaps start Operation Unthinkable, where the British and Americans thought that maybe perhaps we should attack after the fall of Berlin and, you know, wallop the Soviets. So there is elements of that. Moving forward just a bit, we do see what looks to be possibly a T-55 there. It's difficult for me to tell some of these tanks from behind, but definitely some really early war and then earlier Cold War stuff. We're talking about 1945, 1955, at least confirmed there for sure. Wow, this one just gets me. I love seeing that debris from behind the APC there, and then the smoke. You got the diesel kicking up from the engine, the smoke from the treads going over the ground, possibly also like knocking over a wall or something like that as it advanced. That's beautiful. That right there, I believe, is an M113, and it's armed with a 50 cal machine gun on top too, used by, of course, the Americans. So that's definitely confirming some armored personnel carriers that are covered, which was a rarity in Man of War Assault Squad 2, so we're definitely seeing some improvement to the ability to transport infantry, and that one I believe can transport up to it's a crew of 2 and I think 11 passengers or so we got 10-man squad at least that can fit in there, so it could be a unit that could be deployed with infantry inside of its speed to the battlefield, deploy them, and then immediately start opening fire with that 50 cal. That's powerful. I'm sure the Soviets have some similar weapons too. Just another great look at a tank there. That one looks to me to be a Leo 1. I've been looking at a few pictures, and the side of the tank doesn't look like it, but the turret definitely is. But anyway, I'm not here to play Where's Waldo of tanks. I'm here to look at the wonderful skybox there. That's beautiful, and a very good improvement compared to Man of War Assault Squad 2, just the base, and happy to see that there. And of course the explosion effects, the fields, all looking good. So definitely some graphical improvements, and I like to see the bigger vehicles here, and really hope to see that with the mechanics getting better in the game. We're talking about bigger tanks here that are capable of doing faster speeds, so hopefully there's some changes to the AI pathing too, so that way if you're doing, like, for example, 50 kilometers in a tank or something like down a hill, and you want that tank to turn slightly to the right, that the tank doesn't come to an immediate stop, stop on a dime and then turn. It would be good to see some real detailed mechanics in the AI's ability to path, and then of course one big thing would be, it would be awesome to see the treads actually suspension working independently if you're driving, for example, over like some train tracks or a log, to see that actual suspension absorb some of that. That would be amazing. Good tank there. I like the look of that one. Oh yeah, there we go. Good explosion. Nice lighting effects. PT-76 on the right side. Very good. Looks like an airfield assault mission or something. Hopefully we see a few of those. Looking good. Looking good. Did that rocket artillery just turn during mid-firing? Here, take a look again. Yeah, there. Oh, there it goes. All right. Well, this is a Grad rocket launcher, and I'm glad to see it. Haha! Because it's just devastating. I remember that from the Cold War mod. That damn thing is an absolute OP beast. Look at it firing from close range. What the hell? Ooh, welcome to Berlin, boys. That looks sweet. That really reminds me of the initial mission from World in Conflict, an absolute masterpiece of Cold War. If you like Cold War 2, check that game out, and it's going to be really cool to see if we can actually make missions where we're crossing the Berlin Wall in like 1970, 1980, maybe even 1990. That'd be just an awesome, incredible thing. I think right there at the bottom, too, that area with the flag might be part of that game mode where you have to capture zones. That might be one of the flags that capture, pops up that both teams need to capture. And I think really in the far back there we might be seeing like a BMP variant, or that, what is that thing called, a BMR or something that the Russian paratroopers use. It's kind of the airborne variant of a BMP, and it kind of looks the same. I can't remember the name of it, but I've used it a million times in Wargame Red Dragon, another great Cold War game too. I hope this really enters the you know, the halls of greatness when it comes to that. Also, trenches on the other sides of the walls there. I wonder how far they're going to be shooting with a wall right in front of them. What the hell? Is that supposed to be a tank ditch or something? What is that? Oh boy. Alright, there we go. We got jets. That is awesome to see. This makes me super excited. In Men of War Assault Squad 2 single-player missions, a lot of the times you can click on an option on the right side to call in like an off-map Stuka bombing or off-map artillery. And even in games in World and Conflict, you can call in off-map airstrikes and such. So I'm not sure exactly what plane that is. It looks to be two different planes, I think, from the section with the cornfield and then the section with the roadway. It looks to be two different planes based off the engine, maybe. But if you can identify that one, let me know, and it would be good to see some, you know, it'd be really amazing to see is airstrikes that can just come in from off map and do a lot of destruction, but to have a long countdown timer for balancing, you know, so that way the, you know, friendlies can get out of there if you know a strike is incoming. That's cool to see. I'm glad to see some jet aircraft finally in this game. I don't even think Call to Arms has that, at least not in multiplayer. They do have an A-10, but, you know, it's kind of more of a mission-based thing, so it'd be cool to see actual aircraft coming in to destroy ground units. That would be awesome. Really like to see that. Oh, there we go. A T-80U. You can see it right from the backside there. It looks like it was being engaged by an Abrams the second before. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. It's T-34, obviously. A T-34-85, what looks to be deflecting a shot from a Sherman tank. Now, that's good. So we've definitely confirmed some early Cold War stuff. That is so cool to see World War II bleed over. I really want to see what the potential is here to make my own campaigns and stuff in the game as well. Could you imagine, you know, the Soviets just saying, hey, we've taken Berlin, why don't we go ahead and take Paris and just do it in 1945/46? That would be awesome. So it's really awesome to see that. In if you've ever seen Men of War Assault Squad 2, or rather Wargame Red Dragon, a lot of those units from Men of War Assault Squad 2 are in Wargame Red Dragon. We're talking T-34-85s and earlier transports and things like that. It would be awesome to see it carry over. Alright, so a quick note, those trenches at the bottom of the screen are an asset from Call to Arms, and in Men of War Assault Squad 2, the trenches are usually more narrow and deep. These are wide and shallow, and they don't have any of the, I guess, the bracing or anything like that of the other trenches. These are basically just sandbags and a pit that's been dug quickly. But another note, too, we see a Sherman in the background, and what looks to be an American, is that an M113 perhaps? But on the left side, some shipping containers, which were more seen in like the 70s and 80s and 90s when they were put onto big freighters. So I think this is just a typical multiplayer map, and that does lead me to believe that perhaps you could play in any map, but then also perhaps time frame constriction. So imagine fighting the Cold War in 1950 or choosing to do it in 1955. One of the best mods for Men of War Assault Squad 2 is called the Rob's Realism mod, and the coolest thing about that is that you can change the years of war. So if you want to fight in 1942, it's the Soviet Union versus Germany, you can do that. And then of course the weapons that they used in 42 or 41 are different than those used in 43, 44, 45. So this hopefully will have a game mode that will allow us to do that. So I'm seeing some assets used from Call to Arms, but also when Call to Arms was made, they used some Men of War assets as well in the same design, and you know, some things were changed. But obviously if you went from from Company of Heroes to Company of Heroes 2, a lot of those things were kind of the same but also very different. So it's hard to just say that it's a reskin. I'm seeing a lot of new and fresh things here, and also a combination, which is really good too. Some of the mod making community brought over assets from Call to Arms as well because they're improved and they're better. So it's good to see. This could be chocolate and peanut butter, I'm hoping. We'll see. Loving the modern explosions and also the apartment buildings on the right side, really looking like Soviet times. Is that a Bradley? Is that a Bradley fighting vehicle right there in the center of the screen towards the top? I'm not sure, but also like the look of the infantry too. Really good look at infantry. And actually, I think those containers there are just a different angle of the map we saw before with the trenches to the left side. So looking good. Looks like they filmed a lot of this in the same maps and things. Hopefully there's a lot more maps than 2 or 3. There probably will be maybe 12 plus maps. Typically, 1v1s all the way up to like 8v8s, so there could be like 16-person multiplayer here. I hate to speculate, but it's probably true since, you know, we've seen that a lot in MetaWar Assault Squad 2 titles. In Call to Arms, I think it was more limited maybe to like, no, actually, it did have like a crazy like 8v8 plus mode, like a 10v10 maybe even. Probably not that, but I can't recall, but it definitely stepped it up. So hopefully we see more multiplayer here, more players. Another grad getting ready to fire, and then what looks to be a T-54-55 rolling up there. Very nice looking, very good. I love the explosions. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Is that a little Chaffee? I think it is. That looks to be a Chaffee to me. But, ooh, it's got like a modernized gun on the top of it. That could be a new variant. Not very familiar with the older Cold War stuff, but nice to see the Chaffee there. And there we go into a BMP-1. Very nice look right there. I love that that map right there. That looks amazing with the roadway to the right side. Could be Berlin Wall again. Boom, some more explosions and some more vehicles here, transports and whatnot, and what looks to be a BTR-60 there. I wanted to mention that as well, one of those uncovered transports. So coming September 12th confirmed. In the press release that I had, it was coming out on just September. So September 12th, a day to look forward to, and I really can't wait to get my hands not only on this game, and I think I'll be able to, you know, go through the missions quickly, but really to see what the modding community does. That is what kept MetaWar Assault Squad and Call to Arms alive, is the absolute insanity of the mod makers in making not only, you know, scenarios such as Rob's with the multiplayer, but also some incredible missions, such as Sir Henkel, who was eventually hired by the company, is probably making some of these missions as well. So imagine being so good at, you know, modding a game that they actually hire you in order to work on its missions and things like that. So anyway, that's all I have for today. Thank you everyone for tuning in and showing your support too, by the way. Leave a like because these do get suppressed, and it'd be great to have some more awareness around MetaWar Assault Squad so we have more people to play with. If the Cold War mod isn't for you, or rather the Cold War DLC isn't for you, there are mods for the MetaWar Assault Squad game. I highly recommend MetaWar Assault Squad with all the mods, including Cold War, Vietnam, other things that you can get, including MetaWar Vietnam and everything else. They're all very good. MetaWar is like pizza. There's good and then there's great. There's no such thing as bad pizza or really bad ice cream. I think it's all just sweet and savory, and it's all different levels. So hopefully this is one I really enjoy. I hope to see you guys get excited for this one too. What do you think? What are your thoughts? What do you like? What don't you like? What do you want to see in the mod? What types of campaign features do you want to see? Map editors? Do you think it would be cool to have a dynamic campaign system to play with and against your friends? Let me know down below in that comment section. Thanks for dropping by, everybody. But that's just my opinion on it. You let me know what you think down below, and I'll see you all next time. Thanks for being here, everybody. See you soon.